In this tutorial, I'd like to explain the difference between raster versus vector artwork and why it is that we need vector artwork for production purposes. Raster artwork is the most common type of file format. It would include all photographs and all JPEGs and most files that you'd find on the internet. However, they cannot be used for production purposes unless, of course, we were going to be making a photo reproduction project. Now, you can send us a photo or an internet file, and they're really handy as a reference, but it would still need to be drawn by an artist. Vector artwork, on the other hand, is not really so common. You need special software, usually owned by graphic artists, for example, Adobe Illustrator. You need special skills. However, the artwork that comes out of it, it produces perfectly clean lines, which is what we need for production purposes. It allows us to scale it and send it into production. It's based on mathematical formulas rather than on pixels. For the production artwork, we'll gladly create the artwork for you. You can send us a rough sketch and we can redraw it for you. Our excellent artists have years of experience. Now, when you see the artwork, just remember that the black lines are for the raised metal and the white areas are recessed. The lines must provide for perfectly clean edges. Now, here's an example of something that came out of production. Note the nice clean edges. The walls are a little bit shouldered, in which they're a little bit thicker towards the base to provide a little bit more stability. Now, here's an example over in Photoshop of a JPEG. Now, it looks fine at this resolution. However, if I go and start zooming in on it, you'll notice that the lines aren't really so straight anymore, and they get really kind of muddy and fuzzy. And so, pretty difficult to go and make a piece like that. Now, instead, if I go over to Illustrator and take a look at what seems to be the same file, but this time it's vector, and I start zooming in, you'll notice that the lines remain nice and clean regardless of how much I zoom in. And that's the difference between raster versus vector and why it is that we need vector artwork for production purposes.